to nobility. Ollie dives through life with frivolity. Parties and balls, a life so grand. Little did you know what fate had planned. Ollie, Ollie, the wandering candlemaker, chosen by Sybil in her destiny's down. Escape from towers of paper to the open road, a reluctant cleric with powers bestowed. From luxury, thrust into robes, surrounded by tomes and dusty old globes. But Ollie's mind, sharp as a tack, mastered the legalese others did lack. Contracts and bylaws, she knew them all. Her litigious prowess made bureaucrats fall. In mazes of paper would she find a way to bend the rules and save the day. A holy symbol in a divine dream. Not all in the tower is as it may seem. A true the tower across the land. But Ollie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined, sometimes leaving the present behind. But Ollie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined, sometimes leaving the present behind. Library cat, shrouded in mystery, follows Ollie through every history. With glowing eyes and silent paws, it guards her path without pause. Ollie, Ollie, the wandering candlemaker, chosen by Sybil in her destiny's down. Escape from towers of paper to the open road, a reluctant cleric with powers bestowed. Cut from luxury, thrust into robes, surrounded by tomes and dusty old globes. But Ollie's mind, sharp as a tack, mastered the legalese others did lack.
Oh, hoist up the sails, let the winds take a breath. For Thaddeus Turnpike commands his ship. A lord of the waves, a sailor so bold, with magical powers and a heart of gold. Behold, Thaddeus sailed the endless sea, with little Boo as wise as can be. Through tempest and tide, they roam far and wide, the Turnpike legacy, their unfading pride. From the mighty Turnpike line he hails, with a lineage of captains braving the gales. A scion of seafarers fierce and grand, with the smell on his lips and the sword in his hand. Behold, Thaddeus, master of the spell, with little Boo through heaven and hell. They dance with the stars, they flirt with the dew, their laughter echoes in the ocean's blue. For his mate, little Boo's his name. Together they soar in fortune and fame. With little Boo, his talons wrapped in light, they summon the winds and the stars to their fight. A curse of great power, a gift or a bane, Thaddeus wields it with little to fame. A rogue with a charm, a sailor with flair, he faces each curse with nary a care. Behold, Thaddeus, the sea's arcane knight, with little Boo in the pale moonlight. Through whispers of magic and the salt-laden air, the Turnpike adventure none can compare. So sing of the Turnpike, the legend, the tale of Thaddeus and Boo setting sail. For where the map ends, their journey's just start. The sea's in their blood, magic in their heart. So sing of that Turnpike, the legend, the tale of Thaddeus and Boo setting sail. For where the map ends, their journey
In Salonia's fields a halfling stood tall, sea gray eyes a fighter's call. With Fiona's love and Angus' smile, his world was bright for a little while. Oh, Harold Grey with list in hand, a promise made, a journey planned. Each task he'll mark, each dream fulfill. For those he's lost, his heart beats still. From Zakar streets to golden fields, their family loved the greatest shield. They dreamed of wonders near and far, penned on a list beneath the stars. Oh, Harold Grey with list in hand, a promise made, a journey planned. Each task he'll mark, each dream fulfill. For those he's lost, his heart beats still. Young Angus fell on distant shore, while Fiona's kiss would come no more. A drunken noble, a vengeful blade, left Harold's world in darkness laid. But from his grief a purpose born, to honor vows that he had sworn. The list unfolds a final wish, a blade resisted a gutted fish. Now Harold roams through joy and strife, to live for three in one short life. From mountains high to oceans deep, this solemn pledge he vowed to keep. With boulder hat and iron will, he faces each task with hard-won skill. For every deed he sees it through, he feels their love forever true. And when the final task is done, when every battle's lost and won, he'll close his eyes, his duty clear, knowing his loved ones drawing near. In afterlife they'll meet again, their love eternal, free from pain. The list complete, their dreams fulfilled, a promise kept, a future will. Oh, Harold Grey, your journey's long, but in your heart they're never gone. With every dream that you fulfill, Fiona and Angus are with you still.
It fully could be. Hello, everyone. Hello, Vicavar. Welcome back. Hey, guys in the internet world. Welcome back. My name is Koi, and this is You Are Legion, the D&D game where you, the audience, can join in and be part of our story as the gods themselves. Feel free to use those eternity crystals we got at the bottom of the chat. You can give anyone you want advantage, disadvantage, PC, NPC on any roll. Just remember to write in which roll, which character you want to do. And also, DMs, we can use advantage once in a while. NPCs also like that. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your game master today, and I'm joined by our classic players we love and recognize because we've seen each other before, right? Because we have pattern permanence. We have, what is it, object permanence? That's what we have because we're grown-ups. I'm not looking at my players because I'm reading off of a script here, but they're behind me. I have Michael Keane, who's painting some cool Warhammers and playing as the halfling Harold Grey. We got Sam Gilroy back, the noble pirate wizard Thaddeus Turnpike. We will be finding out where he's been. We got Sean Boyd as the blue dragonborn Aelric Tiamaticus. And, of course, Claire Hogan as the noble kender and cleric of the World Tree Civilin Juniper Arley Candlewick III. And joining us for the last week in a little stint, Neil Babcock. Welcome back, Neil. It's been an awesome stint we've had with you. Can't wait to close it up in a little fun bow, or not, as it were, dramatic bow. We shall tie the end of this.
Did you mean not as in not a bow or not as in a K?
I meant like a K.
Because either one was. Oh, nice,
oh, either one.
nice.
Yeah, double entendre. I am a nothing if not someone who plays with words. Cool. Last we left off, stuff was happening with the party. But I want to go back in time to Thaddeus. We are in a collapsing library. You just offered some of the most functionally useful information to Harold probably ever, which was, I think, the 3 words, stab the book. And Harold proceeded to stab said book, and the tree in the middle of this mythical library started cracking and collapsing, kind of like in slow motion. The entire realm itself ripping apart at the seams. And who shows up at this perfect time other than the Archlich Nere himself, luckily not able to get in through the Hallow spell that Arlie had cast beforehand, and so definitely a little bit of preparation that did you all very well. And in the craziness of trying to talk to the Lich through the barrier, realized the Lich was after something. Thaddeus sent what would you call it? A surgical fireball, I guess?
Random. I popped it off in the direction that would both not be snuffed out by my big dragon friend, but also wouldn't murder any of my compatriots. And I just guessed right. So
lucky guess. Yeah, you have, I think, a magical luck stone, so maybe it was something to do with that.
I do have my little luck stone.
Yeah, it's like maybe that way. Boom. Yeah, we haven't really gone into why non-magical fires extinguish when Aelric's standing nearby them, but we also haven't really been in non-magical places much recently, so it has yet to really be an issue. Yes, Thaddeus was able to extinguish one of the books that happened to be our Archlich's, one of their phylacteries, sending the Lich into a total rage. And in the final moments before this realm collapsed, Arlie was able to, and Harold, find some books leading to other realms where there were pieces of the 7-section staff. The final book they found led them back to Kryn, back to our world. We know where this is. None of them seem to be the next in the sequence, but Kryn is home. And so everyone just jumped on and touched the portal into Kryn. First, it was the order of operations was, I believe, Harold, then Arlie, then Aelric, then Lothander, and then after every one of your companions is gone, Thad, it was down to you. You took the portal book, opened it to the page leading to the northern Dargard Mountains, and just before you follow through, there's a hesitation. In your hands, Thad, is a portal book to Kryn. Assumedly anywhere. And instead of following through that same portal, what does Thad do?
I close the book.
Okay. You close the book. The cracking of like stones being ground against each other, mixing with this huge trunk breaking and shattering, almost as if, thousands of frames per second in super slow motion. You stand here as a realm collapses around you. A lich screaming just beyond a barrier spell. The spell may not last much longer, but then again, neither will the realm. Thaddeus, what are you searching to do?
I want to turn around and now, in terms of how these books function, is it like any page that I would turn to would be the portal to that like location in Kryn?
Basically something as simple as that. Yeah, if you're looking to get to a specific location, I'd say I would need a Arcana check.
No, I'm gonna close the book in that moment. I'm gonna turn around and towards the direction of Nire howling. I'm gonna take my luck stone out of my other pocket, and I'm gonna shout, Nire, if that hurt, I'm gonna personally burn every last phylactery you have. And the last thing your undead eyes are ever gonna see is my face. And I'm gonna kiss the luck stone and I'm gonna rip to a random page of the
Okay, just open up a random page in the Kryn book.
Yep.
Cool.
Wild magic. And as this is happening, I want to hold, like, I want to take into my body a fifth level, like I'm gonna burn a 5th level spell slot to undo I want to be in possession of like a 5th level amount of energy.
Okay.
A 4th level amount of energy. A 4th level amount of energy, just in case. And what was the phrase that the Mad Mage, like wild magic baby, or like some like let the chaos rip.
Let the chaos rip. Shit. Okay. So you are going to call out to Nire, who's like a frothing, rabid creature. I mean, an undead fiend. But I'm going to say, give me a perception roll just as you say that last thing. Give me DC 15.
Lugo's gonna swoop in at the last moment and just like as I rip the book, just land directly
Sweet.
on my shoulders. And a perception check, you said.
Yeah. Right. As you're leaving this realm.
15.
What was that? 15?
Yeah.
With a 15, make your claim, your threat to Nire. Open the book randomly. As you touch the page, something out of the corner of your eye pulls your focus back to this room, and you could swear that you could see Nire beginning, almost like getting a finger under the lip of a tile. You could see Nire getting purchase on this hallow spell in a way that is the first step into countering or dispelling, is like finding the seam, basically. And you see him beginning to do that as you teleport out of here. I'm going to say, you had your luckstone in hand. Thaddeus, tell me the top 4 locations that are in Thad's mind of Kryn.
Well, of course, his father's halls, back in Dragon's Graveyard. That's one. like mid-air when the spot where the dragon first hit the airship, like he can't help, like it's such a permanent, but I mean like in the air, not down where they crashed. I mean up in the air where the dragon first hit it.
Yep.
Wherever his party might be is 3, kind of in like a Luffy, like my crew kind of way. And then the 4th is once that one hits, he's like, oh no, wait a minute, I actually have a crew. So the 4th is my ship.
Ship's crew. Okay, party or the ship's crew. Amazing. Cool. Give me a roll a d4 for me.
D4? All right. That'd be 2. Is that midair? Or is it
That you're like, huh? That's odd. Hallow spells are supposed to be powerful. That's really crazy. It's like finding a seam in the magic where he could, boom, air, wind. The ground is no longer below you. It is actually way below you, and it is green. It's not water. That's forest. You've been here before. You were here maybe a year ago or 2 years ago.
The camera shot it's a very stationary camera up in the sky, and suddenly I just plummet. Lil Bubo takes off flying, and the last thing to fall in the frame is the luck stone. And at the last minute, my hand just shoots back out, grabs it as I start to fall, screaming. I guess Featherfall, but yeah.
Amazing. And you have Featherfall prepared now, because I think the first time this happened, it wasn't prepared. But luckily, you entered a rage at the time, which I think prevented your damage. No longer.
I took 1 point of damage from the crash.
And unfortunately, you're no longer a barbarian, but luckily you've remembered Featherfall. Sometimes trauma can be a learning experience for all of us. Incredible. Thad, what does your Featherfall look like? Is it like, do you land with like a superhero like bang, or is it like fully fantastical, like float down, or like what is the effect to that?
In the times that I've cast it before I died, it was very much a cartoony, like it worked exactly how the spell said, which I believe is you only slow right near the bottom of your descent, if I'm remembering how the spell is worded correctly. So it was very much like this sort of like, with the axe full speed, and then like some sort of, as like the force dissipates. Now it's when I hit the ground, I actually don't slow, but as I hit the ground, I melt into shadow, which kind of like mercury droplets, like breaks apart and then reconstitutes myself back up, whatever the slow height is, and then I just land gently on the ground.
Cool. I just realized, and Thad has a similar realization as the ground. See, it's hard to keep broad, wide focus on the big thing when the immediacy of the ground coming towards you is so real. So it isn't until you kind of land on the ground safely that you realize you didn't take much of a view of this area you're falling over. It's kind of, first things first. But on landing, the revelation is stark. This, clearly where this location is, not because of landmarks, but because of for this place for this space to be so embedded in Thad, it's clearly a trauma he's still holding on to, right? Like it's this moment. So when you appear in the middle of the air, Thad instantly knows what this moment is that he's being brought back to.
Yeah, plenty of times. I've woken up screaming in the morning plenty of times.
Remember Featherfall. I don't know which is worse for Thad. So that moment, when you land that, it's only then that you actually take in with your current eyes and vision and not those of your memory. And you realize that this landscape isn't green like you remember it. And it's not a vibrant forest like you remember it. This landscape is actually charred and burnt, as in like recently so. There's still areas that smoke is how recent this immolation to the landscape was. And it's as far as you can see. You are standing somewhere in northern Urgoth.
Oh, that's where they think the reports of the gods smote the whole island.
The island that was basically immolated. That's where you were traveling over during that prologue.
Oh, well, while I think about how to amplify a message spell or get some way of contacting anybody for where I am, I would like to start just investigating what the fuck happened around all of this destruction.
Yeah. Give me well, it depends if you're looking for like magical means or not. So Arcana or Survival.
I wanna know like if there's any aftershocks of magic and like this destruction was beyond any mortal. Somebody had to be wielding something a little spicier. That's a 19.
Amazing. With a 19, it definitely has you're almost like a firefighter doing kind of an autopsy of a fire, like how these people are able to discover what a bomb was or how a fire started when everything that would have been there is already burnt, is like you're using like, oh, well, when this burns, it burns at a certain rate. And when this thing happens, it leaves certain stuff. You're kind of doing that from a magical side, right? Like all the evidence is gone. But what you're able with a 19, the cleanliness and the uniformity of everything, like you know enough that like magic exists in plants and roots. It's like everywhere, right? It's the force. This is where druids get their magic from, is like because it exists within life. The uniform nature of what has been left after the burning is so standardized that it could only come from a certain small series of very powerful magics, mostly within the celestial realm. So like magic from gods, that have enough power to deal both mundane and arcane things, like treat them both like paper, to use that example. So it's certainly a very high level celestial magic. As you begin doing that search, I'm going to leave Thad for a moment and leave Sam to think how Thad is going to solve this problem. Basically, consider, Thad, you have about an hour or two. What would you be doing within your first hour or two in this landscape? And I'm going to leave you there for a second. We're going to pop over to the Sigil Sanctum. I need to roll a little thing. I would like Harold to give me a perception check. And that's going to be a DC 15.
Where am I right now? Am I still eating pancakes?
No, this is you are yes, you've been left alone to be eating pancakes. What did you roll there?
Well, I rolled a 9.
Cool. So with the 9, Harold, The pancakes are so good that it's actually a polite clearing of breath that draws your attention to realize that someone else is in the room with you, or at least they've walked up to what would be politely considered the threshold to this room, as it is a walk-up space with the staircase. On looking up, you realize from your plate, you realize that it is Virgil.
Don't look up.
Okay.
I was about to say,
Sorry.
without looking up, Harold says, "Hello, Virgil."
Yes. You hear Virgil. Well, hello, Harold. I hope I'm not interrupting your meal, but, well, I expected it would be better for us to possibly have a small talk on our own before we invite everyone else. Because maybe this is my misinterpretation, but I feel like there's some things left unsaid that we might need to air out, if it were.
Harold gestures for him to join him at the table.
Cool. Virgil walks up the stairs, pulls out a chair, and joins you at the table. After a moment, there's an unseen servant brings a cup and saucer with some tea that Virgil accepts kindly to the unseen servant. Yes. So, Harold, I'm sure you've got plenty of questions about me. Certainly I had my own about you. And, well, I was able to spend quite a bit of time and resources in uncovering what we could around your past. I don't mean to say that in any way to intimidate or threaten, but more, I believe that we understand the curiosity that we might have for one another. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you're from the Greys. Is that right? Those which found themselves over in the east near Kryn after the Great Cataclysm. I wish I could say that I was only a hillside over my own people, but, well, we did come from a little further across the grassland seas. But both of us were forced to survive. While your family moved to the east and into the mountains, my family, we traveled west. We found ourselves in Kryn. And we found ourselves having to survive, as I'm sure you did, in a strange land with strange rules. And, well, we discovered that if one is able to speak clearly and with some pizzazz, you might say, that it is easier to find protection where one needs and prove one's worth in this new world. So, it was a generation or so of my father and his father before him acting as clowns for our local lords, acting as emissaries and messengers, which we thought at first was a step up until we realized that the only reason we were being sent as messengers is that we were expendable. And the only thing that kept us alive were our charisma to those we were sending very bad news to. And you see, after about a generation or so of this, you start to realize that there are holes of power where words are just as effective as action. And words can not only be used to keep oneself from the gallows, but they can be used to empower oneself, or even used as weapons against one's enemies. By the time I came of age, my family had bought their own freedom. We are landed gentry now, if you can imagine such a thing. Indeed, I myself actually am a representative in the Parliament of Solamnia. It is a minor backbench position, but my community seems to have trusted me and my kin enough to elect me for a few cycles now. I say all this so that you can understand a little bit about where I'm coming from. And as I said, I believe you are curious about it. So you must understand that I myself was curious about you. We had been hearing stories of a wandering cleric unheard of for hundreds of years, of a blue dragon-born creature also unheard of for hundreds of years, a magical wizards who somehow had glommed himself onto this partnership of mythical proportions. But of course, wizards, they show up any which way you'd like. Whenever you don't want them, you have a wizard there. So not too much to think about. But there was something that I heard that troubled me over these months. There was continuous tale of a small man amongst the party. At first we thought maybe a child, maybe a human. But we realized that no, it was a halfling, like myself. And what I could not get out of my head was, whatever is a halfling doing traveling with these folks out of myth? Who is this person, and what do they want? And I'll tell you, that question pursued me for months, and I exercised every resource I could. And beyond a purchase of some land a few years ago, and then a sale a few years shortly after that, I couldn't find much at all. Now, cards on the table. I'm not going to feign ignorance. I do believe I identified a offspring of yours who must have joined the Solamnic military. I learned of their death. And I learned of the death of a minor noble nearby the sale of your land. Now, there's nothing criminal to connect the two events, but I suspect there's a connection. And so, in closing, I'd like to reveal a small piece of information that I believe you are not in possession of. Because I believe we need to work together and trust each other as much as we can moving forward. So here it is. Your son, Angus. He served and died for the Solamnic Knights. His service is not yet complete. He still serves the Solamnic Knights. And I believe you may know in what capacity. And if we can work together enough to not kill each other in this magical sanctified realm of these wizards here, well then I would endeavor to help you find where your son has been assigned and help you to exercise whatever response you deem most appropriate.
I don't know. You come in here, talking in the big tongue, in that dwarvish accent, making references to gallows, and telling me you might find something out that Virgil, we both know, you already know. I bear you no ill will, Virgil. But we both know ourselves a little too well to be comfortable around the other. You can tell whoever is listening to this pretty little conversation that I said the same in a tongue in which I was more comfortable speaking. Aye, words can save one from the gallow, Virgil. I hope you don't imply that they might send one there too.
Master Grey, I believe you've adopted some sorts of personal sense of persecution. Not everyone is after you. Aye?
Oh, not at all, Virgil. Certainly don't believe that you are, not in this moment.
No.
I just know the kinds of things that it takes for one of us to thrive in the big world. They're oafs. And oafs step on things that are smaller than them, sometimes without even noticing. So we put on our cute little voices and we talk to them in a way that'll make them feel more comfortable. Because God forbid they knew what we were capable of. But I know what you're capable of, Virgil. And you know what I'm capable of. Our interests align. I don't think there is anything else for us to discuss, no?
I see. Yes. And I think you've identified through your omission my largest concern. Which is, while you may be aware of me and I of you, I believe that spending so much time around these great heroes of myth, you may not realize how large you have grown yourself, and who now is small in comparison. But I will leave you to your pancakes, and we will talk as a group when you're ready. Lovely chat. And Virgil gets up.
All right, me bobber.
Amazing. And you separate. Coming back to Thaddeus, what are you doing in these first 2 hours?
So after
Oh no. Ah!
being
I got lag. I got lags on lags on lags. This
in the
is...
Kren book, does it still got juice?
Sorry, I just saw this for the last 10 seconds. I didn't hear a thing. Start again.
You're back.
Yeah.
All right. So after I've gotten the quick and dirty forensics of this situation, I'm gonna flip back open the Kren book. Does it still have juice? Can I use it to teleport around Kren?
You can't take... You couldn't take the Kryn with you because it's what you use to travel.
Huh. Huh. What am I gonna do? All right, I need 2 more hours.
I need some more time. Thaddeus, as you're kind so wizards are crazy powerful, but they're also hilarious characters. I kind of love thinking of like the Mummy or these kind of classic like academic intellects who are like, I know everything, and then like they're thrown into the middle of a jungle or a forest and they're like, I'm sure I read about this somewhere. Like Thaddeus appears in the middle of the air, hundreds of feet above the ground, survives without a scratch, ends up in this totally busted land, knows within moments that this is a some sort of celestial wrath. Then the next question is what to do about it. And that's where we have a montage of like Mr. Bean at the roadside of Thaddeus kicking stones. I mean, like, well, I could walk in this direction. I could walk in that direction. I don't see water. I'm on an island. Which way's north? Yeah. Oh.
I may have sending. Because I think when my D&D Beyond syncs with Forge, it knocks out the spell book that you gave me that I know has more psychic ability spells in it.
Okay.
And I know that I have a couple blank spots for it.
Yeah.
So I just need to double check that book.
Cool. Yeah, double check that. And I know that also we have this crystalline. There was this crystal thing that we had for you that had some built-in spells, I believe, as well.
The spell sphere thing that you gave me.
Yeah.
No rod that does something else, but
cool. Thad, as you are trying to find a magic way out of this very non-magical problem, it's like, don't worry, I can engineer a solution to this, is kind of how I like to think of mages in these fantasy worlds. Thad, you hear an annoyingly recognizable whoosh, blast of air, a streak of fire along the ground, and popping out is a red-cloaked madman who you have seen before, last on the deck of your ship, calls himself Dr. Merlin Brown, and he looks messed up. This dude has a black eye. His face is like totally swollen. He's holding his right arm in a sling. It looks like very broken. Blue fingers, swollen, messed up.
I'm going to, but it's recognizably Merlin.
It's fully Merlin, yeah.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at first level on him, just as I approach. It's painful, by the way.
Yeah. Good. Oh, Thaddeus, wonderful. I found you. I wouldn't expect you here, but that's exactly the point. You followed my advice. Don't be predictable. Don't listen to fate. Do what you want to do. You're a wizard, Thaddeus. You're a wizard. As he gets super excited, he grabs you with his bad hand. Ow! Oh, yes. Oh, this will take some time. Thank you for the spell. Wow, your spells really hurt. Who taught you mending?
A black-robed mage.
Yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Well, I'm glad I found you, Thaddeus, because the world needs you. That's not hyperbole. That's just a very accurate description of a complicated issue boiled down into one small sentence.
I just hold up for 2 seconds, because we killed Zivelin. I don't know if you felt that.
You did what?
And
you killed Zivelin?
Yes.
My God! He starts just pacing back and forth, kicking stones, grabbing his hair. Killed Zivelin! 3.61 gigahertz! Yeah. Gigawatts. I don't want to be sued.
We destroyed one of Neri's phylacteries.
Oh! Well, that's good news.
And then I got him very angry.
Because you destroyed the factory, assumedly, yes. You didn't do
And I
anything
taunted
worse,
him.
like... Ah, yes, taunting. Well, that would be worse. So you've destroyed
what
a god, you've taunted and made yourself the very specific nemesis of an archlich. Wonderful work, my boy. Excellent first day of taking on wizard. This is the type of thing I was talking about. This is your potential.
I'm wondering, before you can take me to the sanctum, what did this to you?
Oh, a very angry friend of yours.
A friend of mine?
Well, assumedly, yes. If this is what he does to people he barely knows, he must love you.
What, who did that? Whom?
Your friend, your big friend, the blue one, the dragon guy.
He did this to you?
Oh, with ease.
Can you take me to the sanctum now?
Happily, my boy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm allowed there right now. The same friend threatened me quite severely if he were to see me again, ever. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time out of his vision, just until he can cool down a little bit. I'm not quite sure how long the tempers of those guys are, but, well, I don't want to risk it.
The sky's self.
Oh, interesting. Yes, that's a good one. Can't risk it. He's too dangerous. Anyways.
Send me there.
Oh, happily,
Or
my
as
boy.
close
Yes. Well, take a breath. And he pushes you. Have you ever seen the Nestea plunge?
No.
So, never seen the Nestea plunge?
not
It's a
seen
great,
that.
great commercial campaign. But basically, what it is we have the camera tied to you. He pushes you. You tip over. The camera tilts with you. As soon as you hit the ground, it's the Nestea plunger in the water. But the way that this works is as soon as you hit the ground, you're now standing back up vertically in a new magical place, the Sigil Sanctum. Thaddeus, you appear...
What difference did the Nestea plunge or train spotting? Because they both...
Probably train spotting first.
I feel like train spotting did that shot first. When
Yeah.
he shoots up and he just falls back into his...
Yeah, most
And then
certainly.
Nestea plunge has been around since like
I totally just
Long
derailed the
time ago.
session. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, wait.
here's an example of the Nestea plunge from 1977. So
From 77?
Oh!
I didn't
Yeah,
realize they
it
did it
goes
back
way back.
then. Oh.
yeah. Don't forget how old I am.
Don't ever underestimate how old I am. Amazing.
I don't know where it, or in who in front of I materialize in front of, but I throw up either on them or directly in front of them.
Yeah, so Thad, you are in room S2 on the first floor, middle room, on the circular dais that has two stairs leading up to it, the south side of that first floor S2 room. That is where the...
I come to too much teleporting in too quick a time, and I just come over directly to those guardrails right over the stairs, and I just throw up right over the balcony down like a really loud retch. I haven't eaten or that's the barbecue was the last thing I ate, so
True.
just over the rails. Yeah.
Amazing. Fully just puking over the rails. As you look up from just the dripping lips from whatever's left in your stomach, I'm gonna say so the meeting is going to be upstairs in S4. You look up and you see Wyhan at the bottom of the stairs, the northern stairs there that are leading up to S4. She looks across the room at you as you're just long hair, puke in your beard, and just on this hard stone surface. Right. Well, any of the corners will lead you to a room you can wash yourself up in, Thaddeus, if you want to do it without magic.
Mead, please. And then I cast Prestidigitation to immediately clean
I love
myself.
it. There's nothing more satisfying than getting rid of puke in your mouth than Prestidigitation. It's like, it's the worst part is gone. Incredible. And a floating flagon of mead does a little fantasia up the stairs to meet you. Dun, 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 and reaches you. As you start to... Wyhan already up the stairs. I put some tokens down. I don't want us to get too obsessed with the tokens because it's not combat. We're just as a representation of kind of where the space is. But I'm going to say that as Thaddeus starts to kind of collect himself, is there anywhere you want to go before going up the stairs?
Me? Mm-hmm. Is that Arlie in the room?
I'm going to say at this point, everyone is upstairs who will be in this meeting. So it's just going to be you by yourself down here. I can read a description for you if you'd like of this actual space.
I'm too sick to my stomach to really look around the room right now. This has been too many different temporal localities in too quick a time.
Love it.
But it seems very magical, and that'll be very excited to figure this all out after he drinks his mead and settles his stomach.
I love it. If you've ever been in a world-class 5-star hotel and see a hungover dude walk in and not care at all about how awesome this space is and how expensive it is, that's Thaddeus right now in the Sigil Sanctum. He's like, yeah, cool, I'm sure it's magical and everything. I feel gross. Amazing.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Here, and I'm going to flop down into the couch.
Love it. I will describe for everyone the lounge where Thaddeus has just joined you all. Roaring fireplaces built into the east and west walls of this lounge. Comfortable couches and chairs artfully arranged before a grand staircase that leads downwards. In this lounge are Arlie, Aelric, Lothander, Harold, Thaddeus, Virgil. We also have Wyhan. We also have, and I just, because I'm forgotten names. We also have, come on, magical names. Mordenkainen?
Mordenkainen
himself in white robes. And there is a library cat as well that had been thrown into a bag of Harold's. Library cat is sitting in front of the western fireplace, cleaning himself, basking in the heat. Arlie.
Hi, everybody.
yeah. Arlie, what are you doing as Thad walks in?
Chilling with library cat.
Oh, hell yeah. Just getting some tummy scratches in. Nice. Thad walks in. The party is reconvened. The only person who's not here that you've seen here before is Dr. Merlin Brown. Thaddeus, you've seen the end result of the encounter with Aelric and Doc Brown. Aelric, what are you doing as Thaddeus walks in?
I think Aelric is still. He's not as heated as he was, but he's just more restless than you generally see him, Thad. I mean, he's sitting in one of the chair lounge things that he would fit on, but he's clearly, here, I'll just move him over here. He's clearly not as, I mean, you've always known him rather stoic, but he's not as still as you would normally see him. Still, do you know what I mean?
Merlin really got under your skin, huh? Scales.
It's fine. He and I had a conversation.
I've had conversations with you, my friend. I have not come away looking like that.
It was a special conversation for a very special person.
You were lucky he wanted you to beat the crap out of him for some reason. I got bad news about the Lich.
Okay.
Turns out if you get him really mad, a sanctuary spell will only last about a minute.
It was a hallow
Okay.
spell.
The hollow spell will only slow him down for maybe a minute.
I'm not
I mean,
surprised.
it shouldn't be possible as far as I know, right, YM? When something's
Arlie's
hollow.
just going to be cursing in Kender just about all the work she put into it.
Well, and then I wouldn't be too worried about the spell itself. And it was nothing for you. I mean, the library was literally coming apart at the seams as I left. In fact, if I had stayed,
Yeah, but we could have left a cool pocket dimension that you could have been a place where people could have gone and they wouldn't have known what was there, just a stump of a tree, but you were speaking. He's like,
talk. Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth?
the work is ruined for nothing.
Anyway, Wyhan, should that be possible? That shouldn't be possible.
With powerful enough magic, anything technically is possible. I wouldn't expect any magical barrier to hold Nire interminably.
So we got that going on. The book didn't want me to come straight here, so I took a little side path, and hopefully he'll go there first if he's trying to track us here, because he was big mad when I left. So he could show up here.
You see the two wizards look at each other. Mordenkainen in white robes, Wyhen in black robes. Look at each other, and back to you. Wyhan takes the job of speaking. Says, right. Well, it seems like we do have quite a bit of stuff to catch up on, but we might as well start here. You have personally angered the Archlich Nire and drew his personal ire. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well,
to be clear, he started it.
That's true. Did he?
Just to put aside any concerns at the moment, we here in the Sigil Sanctum are in what I believe you just called a pocket dimension, Arlie. We do not have any concerns about someone finding us. Within the land of Kryn, we at the moment are not in Kryn, and so any type of mundane or magical efforts to find us in any other realm would fail while we are in this realm. One of the reasons we thought it best to possibly have our debrief, as it were, here.
Well, I have had a kind of deep experience over the last several minutes, and I'm not ashamed to say that I was a little bit jealous that Harold killed a god, and I didn't. And so after I destroyed one of his phylacteries, the book.
Everyone give me an insight check as that's just going off. just fucking dropping shit. I love it. I'll admit to it. I was a bit jealous that Harold killed a god. I'll admit it. Jesus. 28, 22, 6. Wow, even with your new shit, Aelric, eh? Even with your hot new
30,
shit.
20.
Wisdom is my curse, baby.
Damn. And Harold Gray with the dirty 20. Did Thaddeus roll, or I didn't?
Oh, I thought I didn't know I was included in that perception.
I guess you'd roll with a disadvantage, to be honest, because you're the one talking. Cool.
14.
Thaddeus, with a 14, you're just like people are paying attention to you because you got important shit to say. You often have this effect on rooms. You just like pull focus. It's a thing, it's partially due to your royal background. It's partially to do with your massive control of magic. It's partially to do with your rugged good looks. It happens.
Yeah, don't forget how handsome he is.
Exactly. His rugged good looks, it's, while Thaddeus is having this realization, Harold, Lathander, and Arlie, you clock immediately when Thaddeus is like, I got a bit jealous when Harold killed a god. That's new information to everyone in this room who isn't you.
So when I opened up the Kryn book and I could feel the magical sympathy inside of it that I wasn't supposed to jump with the rest of the party, I did close it and I did turn and I did tell the Lich that it was I, Thaddeus, that burned his phylactery, and that I would burn all of his phylacteries personally, and that the last thing that his undead eyes would ever see would be me. At that point, he started to get underneath the hollow spell, and that's when I got out of there.
Holy Jesus. I'm going to have to roll a Constitution saving throw. Y-Hand starts dry heaving. Just like, Mordenkainen, somebody you haven't met before, but Thaddeus, you of all people would probably be like the most attuned to like, oh yeah, this is who this guy is. The head of the White Robes tower. Kind of blank-faced, hard to read. Y-Hand is dry heaving. Virgil takes a sip of their tea and sets it carefully on the saucer and says,
Harold is just watching Virgil and kind of like...
yeah. So just this.
I did. If nobody told you all yet, I did slay the dragon, however.
I apologize to interrupt, Thaddeus, with your wonderful tales. I just would like to make sure that I'm following with all the basic details. Am I right in understanding that you have single-handedly destroyed one of the phylacteries of the Archlich Nere, given them your true name, and threatened them personally with absolute death before leaving back to the land from which they know you live?
Oh, no, I didn't say my full name. I said I destroyed. When I added my name there out of import to the story, I said, I just burned your phylactery. I will burn the rest of your phylacteries. I did think I said personally.
Okay.
And then...
So
Yes.
Virgil touches Y-Hand. You see, Y-Hand, it's not nearly all that bad. It's the first time the Lich has ever seen any of them, and there's many, many thousands and millions of individuals across multiple...
A while ago, personally. He knows all of our faces.
Oh, sorry. Y-Hand starts retching again. Sorry, Y-Hand, Nere knows you already.
I look around the group now. I look around at the group and I'm like, you've all been here for at least 4 hours more than I have. What have you all been doing?
Beat the hell out of
I
the
was
wizard.
I needed to sleep.
Ate some pancakes. It was pretty great.
I mean,
I explained to a wizard his error. So to be clear, and Elric turns to Y-Hand, and I can't pronounce the other dude's name, or Virgil, and all of them wizards.
Mordenkainen, yeah.
Yeah, we've known Nere before he was in this form. We have a long history with him. He was there when the gods were destroyed.
with Y-Hand was there for that.
So why are you surprised he knows us?
I mean, did we leave out the fact that he was there when we,
The fact that he was there when, unfortunately, we were forced to release all the gods through no will of our own, Thad?
Right, no, because he was there and he was like, you're going.
Thaddeus, give me an insight check. Give me an insight check with advantage.
Harold is going to click his fingers, and an unseen servant is just going to bring Thaddeus food and mead.
Shut up.
A lot of food and mead.
Like, no, of course we were forced to do it. None of us had moral agreements to the. Oh, this is fantastic.
Morden Caden leans over. He's like, yes, you see, actually what we discovered was a little bit of turmeric. Did quite a little bit. It was a dry rub, actually. And Morden Caden, you realize, gets really into cooking.
Nire was the master of our former compatriot, Bubo. He taught him in the Silvestri Woods. Whether or not he had ascended to lichdom at the time, we don't know. He was present during the Legion incident. He did not attempt to prevent us acting, and in fact aided us. So I would assume that the events which transpired did go according to his desires.
Well, whatever his desires were, he was always someone to take advantage of circumstances. This actually connects some of the disparate information I've been collecting. It seemed like there have been reports that Nire may have found, possibly even secured, the lost stone containing the god of the Dragon Queen herself, Takesis. If what you tell me is true, that makes a lot of sense as to where he might have first acquired it. Our concern is with what he might do to it. You see, the level of power he now wields, we are afraid that he may be able to use a variation of a spell meant to create phylacteries, but use this magic on the gem containing Takesis herself. Were he successful, he would effectively turn the Dragon Queen into but one piece of his power.
We've killed one god. We'll kill another.
Yes, which brings us to what should have been the most important point of this meeting. You killed a god. Who?
It was my brother, and
your brother killed a god.
No, my brother is the god.
Your brother
Zivelin
died. You killed Zivelin. Yes. Well, Arlie, how would you allow that?
It's not the only Zivelin. If you have a spare, I mean, hopefully we killed the right one. But according to myself, we did.
Listen, it's fine.
Not the only
It's meant
one.
to happen. No. It's all kind of part of his plan. He left out a lot, but just know that that's okay.
And Arlie is going to just casually toss an acorn of the god.
The acorn? Okay. Oh, you're just playing with the acorn? Oh my god, okay.
Playing
amazing.
with it with Library Cat.
I love it.
Library cat's trying to eat the acorn.
You've developed a game of fetch where you can throw the acorn and the library cat will just like grab it and bring it back to you. Like could fully throw it down the stairs, just like clack, 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 clack. Library cat will zoom off and come back with this acorn in its mouth, very satisfied with itself. Yes. It's a great game. It's all good then, is it?
Ooh,
Right.
I mean,
Okay. Well, let us now share some of the information that we have that we need to share with you that has come up while you were killing the god of wisdom.
saving the world.
Right. Now, back to our...
bound to happen eventually.
It was bound
back.
to happen. I see.
Just as it was bound to happen that catch Nire's attention, Wyhan, are you shocked that after the same staff as Nire is, a course which this very room set us upon, we were going to attract his attention eventually, perhaps not as brusquely as Thad did.
I am going to kill him.
Nevertheless, this was not something that could be forever avoided.
Why?
We destroy a phylactery and get an advantage over him.
There was certainly always a time at which point Nire would be aware of what we were trying to do. We
So
had
buck up,
hoped.
Wyhan.
We had
Should I have
hoped
taken the black?
that that moment would have occurred closer to your completion of the 7-section artifact. As it stands, yes, one phylactery is wonderful to take out of the enemy's hands. I'm not sure destroying our own gods balances that.
Oh, no.
As for that,
Yeah.
Virgil says, yes, Wyhan, right. So, as I was saying, the small little wee thing we've been dealing with is that, well, how do I put this? All the books have gone blank.
Oh, it's because I started burning books in the library.
Oh, yeah, or it could be that you killed the god of knowledge itself.
No, the god of knowledge isn't dead.
Oh, no.
We couldn't speak if they were dead. We just killed Zivelin.
I knew you would.
knowledge.
I knew I was going to need some supporting materials here. So just give me a moment. And Virgil leans over to a small bag that's been sitting next to the couch, takes out some big tomes, hands one to each of you. These are like full on. Let me look at the scale we're talking about here. Tomes. There you are for you. There you are for you. There you go. All right. Now, tell me, the books have not been destroyed. Just as you say, nothing is really over, is it? But if you would do me the pleasure, do me the honor of just turning to any page at all. Blank. Unprinted. Aye, you see. Now, this is not just these books. This is absolutely everything. All of our contracts, our laws, everything has been wiped clean. We are hours into this, and it is looking like we are on the verge of absolute systemic collapse. But of course, this had to happen, and it's not a big deal, so, we're not concerned.
would you like to explore the alternative, Virgil?
Is that even available to us anymore?
Or,
Could you-
but it might bring you some comfort, or you could stop being such a cunty git about it. Seven
Has-
halfway.
Any reports about people going missing or horrible injuries happening near holy symbols of Zivelin reached this august body?
I believe there are some stories from some time ago.
Okay. So what I need y'all to understand is just because your culture, and I'm not saying we turnpikes have this problem because we memorize everything, and I'm just saying that maybe it was a bad idea, but that regardless, you see, what was eventually going to happen was that this shadowy nether place that doesn't really exist would slowly have consumed Zivelin up until the point where instead of the books being blank, shadowy monsters that would devour your very essence, not even your soul, would have come out of obliterating everything that we know to a nothingness that would have been complete and total and absolutely awful. So really, it was between that or the books being, empty.
Virgil looks to you and looks to the two wizards like a CEO turning to their technical expert to like confirm some data. And like, is what he's saying absolute garbage? You see the two wizards look at each other and are kind of like, I mean, it's possible. Like, very much just like, yeah, could be that.
Has been cast in this room. I do want to point out that all of this stems from the problems the gods were contained into a construct in the first place, which we had nothing to do with since none of us at this time were born. And I look at Wyham.
That's awesome. Morden Kanan speaks up for one of the first times. Says, and speaks to Aelric. Says, Tiamaticus, the rage that you unleashed on our companion yesterday was due to the fact you had your agency stolen from you, yes?
Yes, with this caveat. You haven't seen Rage yet.
But I know the feeling. You see, it was very much that feeling that drew Solamnia to develop the Legion construct. I think you may forget in this moment, Thaddeus, Juniper, Candlewick, what it is to resent being controlled and to have no power. This was the sentiment out of which was born the Legion protocol.
You're equating the gods' sway on the world. Am I correct? Dense metaphors and pretty language doesn't really work very well on me.
It's as
So I'm
simple
asking
as
for
you
clarity.
it's as simple as you described it yesterday. It's having control over your own life.
I see.
How has that worked out for everybody in this room?
Yeah, Arlie's gonna stop playing the acorn game and just look like incredulously at the speaker.
No?
Like just be like,
There has not been a day in any one of our lives that a god or a body politic hasn't been forcing us down one of three terrible choices to clean up a mistake that should never have been made in the first place.
It's like trying to bottle the weather and saying I didn't like getting rained on. It's
You had all this, and I had prestidigitation for just a second. It's not the biggest like spell of anything, but I make all the little. This wasn't good enough for you, was it? It's either, whoa, let's become a lich. No, I wear the right robe. Let's capture all the gods. What a bummer. You both are bummers. This is a bummer.
Sorry, this is not Mordenkainen. I think Mordenkainen is like, I can see why Merlin likes him. Virgil steps in front. I'm afraid there's no real resolution you'll be able to find speaking to these masters of the arcane. They like to wander amidst imaginary realms and philosophical debates. If we are to get to practical purposes, which is why I believe we are all here, and Virgil fully doing the grown up in the room, looking at everyone, your side and the wizard's side, being like, let's all pull it together here, right? Let's remember why we're here. Point number 1, all the books are blank. This is a problem for those of us who live in the world and use books. Now, for those of us who are mythical heroes of adventure on god-killing quests, I'm sure this is well below your attention or care. But for those of us who do have to live day to day and make a living with our labor, this actually affects us. As for what you're trying to do on a grand cosmic scale, I happily was not part of any decision made to harness, capture, destroy, imprison any deities, and I have very little interest in involving my personal day or my entire life with any deities, because they're not around. What matters to me is my present company excluded. My apologies, Mr. Lothander. This is new for all of us, although I hear your barbecue is actually something quite to try, and I would like to, speaking on behalf of Mordenkainen, he would like to have your recipe if you're willing to share it before you leave.
I wrote down that turmeric note, actually. That was real good.
You see Mordenkainen behind, above and behind Virgil's it's a real one. That's a real game, recognized game. Virgil here, in the center of this circle, below the heads of most of the people, for the first time, kind of losing their temper in a way that you haven't seen them ever do. Virgil says, so, while we're here in this pocket dimension separate from any other realm where you are probably going to go, and when we can go back to our realm and pick up the pieces of whatever destruction you've laid on our doorstep, I think at the very least we should be able to leave knowing whether we are going to see you again as enemies or allies. Because I'll tell you this right now, if all you want is control over your own lives, then you're walking down the path of the man you're currently headed to destroy.
I'm sorry, was that to us or to Whitehand and
This is to all of
Mordecai?
you! All of you tall folk! Virgil's hit the end of their patience, and whatever whatever wonderfully soft demeanor they have developed over years and years and years, we're reaching the edges of it. Virgil says, so we all have things we want to do. We all operate under rules we don't want to operate under, and subject to powers we wish we could control. But I'll tell you this, when you have more power, you now are subjecting others to your own whims. And just because you think you're special doesn't mean your blindness is compassionate. If you want to operate on your own, free from any control of any entity or polity or deity, then you should join Nire and let us know that we are at odds. Otherwise, we would happily work with you, and I hope we do. But you must understand that there are hundreds that are spending their days untangling the mess that you create. And you think that you're so removed from all the implications just because you now have fancy powers and gods and magics and whatever it is that you have. Well, some of us have to go home and deal with our boring lives and the fallout of the actions of you crazy, magical, fantasy creatures. And I've only dealt with it for a few months, and I can already tell why we wanted to get rid of all this. I need to take a walk. And Virgil leaves their coffee cup and takes a little walk down the stairs. Tip, 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 tip. There's not much place to go in the Sigil Sanctum, so they're more just leaving the room.
Harold excuses himself and follows after him.
Cool. We'll follow up with you in a second.
So Mordekainen, Wyhan, they're the only two left in there?
Yeah.
Great. Elric says, I don't know the direction we're supposed to be traveling. I thought we were supposed to get this rod and have it put back together. Are we not doing that? Are we doing that? Is it important? What are we doing with that?
Wyhan, in her doing her best to not be extremely condescending, which she fails at spectacularly.
Sure.
Yes, Elric, it is certainly the task we had set you on that we'd hoped you would continue. We were not expecting you to kill the god of wisdom. So I hope you can understand our surprise at this new development.
When was the last time either of you were in the field?
Excuse me?
When was the last time you went down into an ancient dungeon and were confronted by the impossible choices that you find at the bottom of a dungeon? Yeah, we went to go pick up a staff, and it just so turned out that when we picked up a piece of it, we also had to kill the god of knowledge. That's what happens when you go to the bottom of a dungeon.
And to be clear, the brother of that god is standing here with us, unfazed by this event, unconcerned on how it's going to turn out, trusts us thoroughly.
Not
you, for all of your powers, still yield to the gods. So I would say maybe give us just a little bit of room to work and stop telling us to do 20 things at once.
Mordekainen makes a move towards the stairs as well. As he exits, he responds, Aelric, saying, the care of Lothander for what just happened to the people of Krynn should speak more to why there was an issue in the first place. And he walks out. You're left with Wyhan in the black robes. She's staring at all of you. Everyone in the party, Harold's left. Wyhan says, Aelric, Thaddeus, Arlie, I have known you longer than I had hoped. And and let me say, if I can go through the rest of my life knowing you for less than the amount of time I've already known you, I will consider that a massive victory. So let me provide as much clarity as I can so that I can see you as little as possible. The only thing we know of that could challenge Nire's power, if he is able to turn Takesis into one of his phylacteries, is the 7-section staff. Without it, he will have absolute power to do what he likes. And he should likely have enough power to control what normally would take over a mortal's mind. So it won't be her at the helm, it will be Nire. And personally, I'm much more concerned about someone of mortal birth with that power than I am with the god, the Dragon Queen herself. All to say, none of us can really tell you what to do anymore. It'd be great if you...
Come.
Oh, I have obligations, that is.
Yes, you deal with the writing problems.
That's top of our list right now.
Yes, but don't come to us and put that on our feet.
What I don't think Virgil told you was that with this outcome of your deicide, you are no longer wanted for questioning, nor are you wanted for any trial. You also technically don't have any titles anymore.
Oh, well, no, we don't.
Yes. I may as well tell you now, it is an absolute pleasure and honor to be working, assisting your sister. And she gives you a look, and I'll say you can give me an insight check, DC 15.
No.
With a 10, she's looking at you. Something about working with your sister, there's something more that she's not telling you. Not like, you don't get the sense of like, so I can get close to kill her and your whole family. But Wyhand's always doing something. And normally, at this point, you realize that mostly what Wyhand does is in service of Wyhand.
Well, if you've been trying to get the turnpikes to write things down, I'm pretty sure we just proved my family right.
Oh, no, actually, the fact that the turnpikes don't write things down is quite convenient. Yes. Anyways, we would love to support you and continue in continuing securing the 7 sections. If, of course, there's anything we can assist you with. But I think you might need to recontextualize where you sit as a unit. Personal friends and companions with gods, as it were. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but no one can tell you what to do anymore, Thaddeus. And so any complication that arises from us talking to you is self-inflicted. I'll be downstairs. And she heads out. I'm going to go back to follow Harold when he first went following Virgil, because we moved past that. So, and then we'll stop for our break afterwards. Harold, you go down the stairs following Virgil. You attempt to catch up to talk, or are you like trying to like search, like see where they're going, or what's the objective?
I make my presence loud enough such that he knows I'm following him, and I'm just waiting for him to come to a stop, but that I won't just,
Cool.
I'm rather insisting that he accept my presence.
Cool. You follow Virgil in through the main room in the first floor, and then over to S1 on your map. It's set out like a lecture hall, or some sort of like legal room, or like a guild hall, with these rooms set out in this way. And I want to see if I can give you gleaming floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with leather-bound tomes wrapped around the sanctum's west end, while marble pillars hold up vaulted ceilings to the east, and spiral staircases in the corners lead upwards. It's there that Virgil finally leans 2 hands down against one of the tables. And opens one of the books that just happens to be there. And just like starts flipping through them. More from what you've just seen, it's more just to look at the illumination than to read. Just seeing the beautiful illustration. And we're just going to do that for a couple pages before taking a sigh, kind of giving up on the book, and turning back to you, Harold. Well, well, I have not lost my temper like that in over 4 decades. You can give me an insight check if you like.
$13.
You see, Virgil's like sincerely embarrassed. And there's something below that the embarrassment is merely a symptom of.
Roy, that was the first likable thing I've seen you do, Virgil. Don't know why you're still talking in the big tongue.
Oh, Harold. It's been many years since I've... been a long time since I've spoken in my own...
So, given that you finally... what's the name of that god again? Mother of goats and
Oh yeah,
spiders.
I always forget. Oh my god.
The Vagina dentata.
Shub.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Shub Nagaroth?
Something like that, yeah.
Shub Nagaroth?
Yeah, Shub Okay.
She's referenced in a South Park episode, so it should culturally know
So
it.
come on, guys.
I found it.
Shub Niggurath. Thank you, Vicavar. Boom. Point of inspiration for Vicavar.
All right, Virgil. Now that you've been honest with me, we took that cunt of a Viking, but you got there. I'll be honest with you. The gnomes prevented Zivelin entering the Legion. Now, I don't pretend to understand the arcane, but from Lathander and Arlie explained to me, releasing the gods again
put two Zivelins into the world. Now, the universe may abhor vacuum. Apparently, it also abhors the existence of two Zivelins. So, the Zivelin that was requested of us that we usher it from this immortal coil. If we had not done so, which I'm sure your reports will corroborate, emerging in Zivelin symbols, would have spread throughout the world. Every written volume a vector of corruption, every word written a curse, one that read it. That was our other option. I did not afford the chance to explain this to those assembled here today. We did it. I did it. After Zivelin invited me to do so. I do not seek to serve myself. I seek to help the wheel turn. It is that duty that Inpu has requested of me, and it is one that I am more than willing to fulfill, and would have done so before I had become blessed. As for the constructs, they are an abomination, Virgil. And I know that you live in a world of necessary evils, but some, Virgil, some go too far. There will be a time and a place for that reckoning. But for now, we intend to find the staff, and we intend to destroy Nere.
You know, one of the first assignments that I had working for the Vale we was trying to secure an at this point some sort of allegiance or economic treaties. It's all pointless at this point. And we were very close. It had taken years of having agents convince lords and setting up everything we'd need to make it happen. And the day of the signing, one of the signatories didn't show up. And it was my job to find him and make sure he signed. And well, long story short, I found out that the reason he didn't attend that day was because he had learned that his son had died. And he had travelled home in the middle of the night. His only child. Not an accident, mind you, vicious killing. Gutted like a fish, they said. Months later, we were able to secure something enough, but that one night, that lack of a signature, that led to hundreds starving across the sea. I've lived my life knowing that every person in power can affect the lives of hundreds with just a word or a careless, offhand statement. And in that world, it is almost impossible to stop the suffering and the pain and the oppression and the violence and spite that comes out of the very reasonable reactions to these words of powerful men. but they're just men. And now I see I live in a world where there are things much more powerful that operate in ways I cannot understand. And when they are thoughtless, it's not just hundreds, it's thousands or millions or all of us. But I can talk to a man. I can't talk to a god. I can't convince them we're worth anything. And it seems, for whatever reason, that you are in a place where you can make a difference and be heard by that level of power. And I don't begrudge you for it. I wouldn't want to be in your position. I don't. I just ask that knowledge helps. Communication. There's so much we can do if we just know a few hours or days before something happens. If we're not just reacting to everything in the moment. I'm not trying to get in the way of what you're doing. I don't understand what you're doing. I'm just trying to keep my people safe.
Your perspective is noted, and we will certainly endeavor to give you warning when and where possible, Virgil.
I'll take that. Much obliged.
These talks, Virgil, you ran them?
I was still junior. I wasn't running them in charge, no.
Who set the agenda?
Well, he's no longer with us, I'm afraid.
Well, it's too bad he couldn't have scheduled it a day earlier. Don't wash your hands, Virgil, or you will.
We've all done things to be where we are.
Oh, I'm sure we have.
Right then. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
And I wish you all the health.
And you proceed slipping into it without even intending to. The two of you slip into a cultural goodbye, ancient in halfling culture. A series of like a false exit, but no, stay for another drink. No, let me tell you about this thing and what we're going to do. And it's this very like ritualistic dance of how you say goodbye in a polite manner to maintain relationship and reputation and save face. And with that, I'm going to say we're going to take a little break. We're at 9:30 on my clock, so I'm going to say we're going to come back for 9:45 to return playing. And after the break, we're going to have a lot more time with Neil and Arlie, because I know that this first half was kind of a little light. It was a little diet, Arlie diet Lothander, and I need a little bit of more of that in my veins.
Can I just say that it's like Tarov? It's like Tarov? I'll explain what Tarov is when we get back.
Okay, yeah, please do. I have no idea what that means. All right, we will see everyone in a minute. Pew pew.
In Candlewick Manor, born to nobility, Ollie danced through life with frivolity. Parties and balls, a life so grand. Little little did she know what fate had planned. Army, the wandering candlemaker, chosen by Sibyl, her destiny's bound. Escape from towers of paper to the open road, a reluctant cleric with powers bestowed. From luxury, thrust into robes, surrounded by tomes and dusty old globes. But Polly's mind, sharp as a tack, mastered the legalese others did lack. Contracts and bylaws, she knew them all. Her litigious prowess made bureaucrats fall. In mazes of paperwork, she'd find a way to bend the rules and save the day. A holy symbol in a divine dream. Not all in the tower is as it may seem. A true the tower across the land. But Arnie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined. Sometimes leaving the present behind. But Arnie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined. Sometimes leaving the present behind. Library cat, shrouded in mystery, follows Audie through every history. With glowing eyes and silent paws, it guards her path without pause. Arlie, the wandering candlemaker, chosen by Sibyl, her destiny's bound. Escape from towers of paper to the open road, a reluctant cleric with powers bestowed. Cut from luxury, thrust into robes, surrounded by tomes and dusty old globes. But Ollie's mind, sharp as a tack, mastered the legalese others did lack.
Oh, hoist up the sails, let the winds take a breath. For Thaddeus Turnpike commands his ship. A lord of the waves, a sailor so bold, with magical powers and a heart of gold. Behold, Thaddeus sailed the endless sea, with little Lubo as wise as can be. Through tempest and tide, they roam far and wide, the Turnpike legacy, their unfading pride. From the mighty Turnpike line he hails, with a lineage of captains braving the gales. A scion of seafarers fierce and grand, with the smell on his lips and the sword in his hand. Behold, Thaddeus, master of the spell, with little Lubo through heaven and hell. They dance with the stars, they flirt with the dew, their laughter echoes in the ocean's blue. Now for his mate, little Lubo's his name. Together they soar in fortune and fame. With little Lubo, his talents wrapped in light, they summon the winds and the stars to their fight. A curse of great power, a gift or a bane, Thaddeus wields it with little to fame. A rogue with a charm, a sailor with flair, he faces each curse with nary a care. Behold, Thaddeus, the sea's arcane knight, with little Lubo in the pale moonlight. Through whispers of magic and the salt-laden air, the Turnpike adventure none can compare. So sing of the Turnpike, the legend, the tale of Thaddeus and Lubo setting sail. For where the map ends, their journeys just start. The seas in their blood, magic in their heart. So sing of the Turnpike, the legend, the tale of Thaddeus and Lubo setting sail. For where the map ends, their journeys just start. The seas in their blood, magic in their heart.
Salonia's fields a halfling stood tall. Sea gray eyes a fighter's call. With Fiona's love and Angus' smile, his world was bright for a little while. Oh, Harold Grey with list in hand, a promise made, a journey planned. Each task he'll mark, each dream fulfill. For those he's lost, his heart beats still. From Zakar streets to golden fields, their family loved the greatest shield. They dreamed of wonders near and far, and on a list beneath the stars. Oh, Harold Grey with list in hand, a promise made, a journey planned. Each task he'll mark, each dream fulfill. For those he's lost, his heart beats still. Young Angus fell on distant shore, while Fiona's kiss would come no more. A drunken noble, a vengeful blade, left Harold's world in darkness laid. But from his grief a purpose born, to honor vows that he had sworn. The list unfolds a final wish, a blade resisted a gutted fish. Now Harold roams through joy and strife, to live for three in one short life. From mountains high to oceans deep, this solemn pledge he vowed to keep. With boulder hat and iron will, he faces each task with hard-won skill. For every deed he sees it through, he feels their love forever true. And when the final task is done, when every battle's lost and won, he'll close his eyes, his duty clear, knowing his loved ones drawing near. In afterlife they'll meet again, their love eternal, free from pain. The list complete, their dreams fulfilled, a promise kept, a future will. Oh, Harold Grey, your journey's long, but in your heart they're never gone. With every dream that you fulfill, Fiona and Angus are with you still.
Welcome back, everyone. We just jumped. We got back. Oh yeah, we got a Virgil cup of tea there, in Sean Boyd's hands. We're back. We were just talking about how awesome this game is. While we've been focusing on Virgil and Thaddeus, where Thaddeus was for a few hours, Harold, and obviously some of Elric, for a guy who's a bear of very few words, or a dragonborn of few words, said a fair amount this week. I want to know, what the hell's Arlie doing this whole time? Where did Arlie go when everyone started walking away? And also possibly, is Lothander also there? But let's start with Arlie. As everyone started leaving, first Virgil, then Mordenkainen, then Wyhan, leaving you upstairs. Harold's also left. So it's just you, Thad, Aelric, Lothander, and the library cat upstairs. Virgil just lost their temper and walked away, and everyone had their little thing. What do you do? What are you thinking? What are you doing? What's happening in Arlie's mind?
I think she's just playing with the cat. I don't think that they're like, job done.
Cool.
We've got like the seed to reintroduce this god. She figures that when the right time and place to plant it appears, like she'll know, she's probably like, maybe it's the cleric's tower, but maybe he wants to be somewhere more interesting than that.
I like Arlie's daydreaming into where to plant Zivelin.
Yeah, it's like and she's also not sure if this is the right like plane to do this on, So she's just like, it's just a plan for later.
Yeah.
But I don't think that any of these, I don't think she cares that the wizards are mad. What's done is done.
Yeah.
So if they want us to, I mean, they even seem to be like, they're like, mad, but we're doing the job anyways. Like we're already gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh no, we made the lich that we have to fight mad. Okay, great. Maybe like we'll find him faster. Like like she's just literally like, what is there isn't a why? I don't understand the problem.
For sure.
So
a lot of it is like people with small, like compared to Arlie, it's people with small minds worrying about small things is kind of what it comes down to, right?
Yeah. So I think she's incredibly unbothered.
Yeah, and Sean Boy
Like,
just having a
maybe-
fucking light show going on in the corner. Sorry.
Yeah, there's some prestidigitation just for, I don't think she has that as a cantrip, but if she did, it would look like just playing like, playing like the way you play with a laser pointer with the cat, but
Yeah.
like
I will say, Arlie,
Yeah.
something as someone who is a magic caster, their reaction to being like, you did what with Nire, and like personally offended Nire, the reason why that is a concern is something that Arlie would fully be aware of. When you piss off a magic caster, it's like pissing off a billionaire, right? Like if a billionaire is like, oh, I know the name of this asshole, okay, I buy their business, I fire them, I'm gonna buy out their debt and then fuck them up. Like they just have power to do shit. Like, for example, a lich could teleport to wherever you are if they knew the plane of reality you were on. And if Nire is trying to look for you now, and if Nire were to just show up, you currently still have a problem fighting him, kind of like, he's super powerful. So him now knowing like, oh, I'm going to keep an eye out for Thad, and if I'm in the same plane of existence as Thad, I'm going to teleport to him and fuck him up, is not the best place you want to be. Like, you kind of, at this point, the game is don't be in the same realm as Nire until you're ready.
okay.
Because there is this chance that if you make a noise and he's like looking for you, he can find you, and you don't want him to find you yet.
Okay, well then let's say, because we've got all the portal books, that
You're actually in a great place to be able to move quickly without him knowing. Like, he doesn't know where you are.
Yeah.
You're not in Kryn right now. So you're actually, there's a reason for you not to be too worried. Like, I don't mean to say you should be worried. I think your position of saying Arlie's not too worried is great. I just wanted to add a little bit of like, there is a reason why pissing off Nere and being like, hey, Nere, it's me, Thaddeus, the wizard, fuck you, is like, oh, you had to do that, eh? You had to tell him your name? Cool. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, well, given that Arlie has clocked the sort of gravity, for lack of a better word, of that, like maybe she's gonna want to start like plotting their next like course of action by, if she can, either by researching the portal books that she has, or going into her own I don't know, wherever she accesses knowledge. I mean, she might also try casting to see if she can.
You can try casting. There is a library as well downstairs, and there are rules. If you want to search for a topic, you just give me a D4 roll, and
sure. I think she's just gonna casually cast Bless just to see if she's still divinely connected to anything, and then
Bless will work.
Okay, so she's like, so she'll clock that she's still somewhere out there is Zivalent, possibly in the future, but she's just gonna take that information as long as she hasn't lost the seed, then the course of divine providence carries forward in a coherent manner, and she doesn't need to get a new god.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the library and start learning about all these other places, if possible.
Yeah, you can start doing some research. Lothander, what are you up to, man? You were very polite, allowing the mortals to discuss amongst themselves, not speaking for any of them. Now it seems like there's been a kind of at least temporary resolution to this meeting. And people have started like filing out. You have a moment with Arlie, Aelric, and Thaddeus, just the four of you alone, before Arlie goes down and begins researching in the library. Is there anything you want to do in that period?
I would like to take a moment to go find Mordenkainen if I could.
Yeah, for sure. You totally can. You can find Mordenkainen in S3, which is like a magical, I don't know, workshop? What do they call it here? They call it workspace. It's literally called a workspace. A desk covered in paperwork and books sits in the middle of the work area. Nearby curio cabinets filled with magical trinkets. Everything from necklaces to brooches to sparkling stones and shoes. In there you see Mordenkainen doing a little bit of preparing some spell components.
Well, that was an interesting meeting.
Mordenkainen looks up, registers you, and in a decision of deference, puts aside the work to not talk and work at the same time. Assumedly, speaking to a deity deserves full focus.
I give a nod, kind of noting the fact that a wizard of his bearing would want to be multitasking as much as they can, and recognizing that. Listen, these people that I'm traveling with, I think you recognize the importance of what they are about.
Honestly, the fact that you seem to have an opinion is enough.
Good. The books, the knowledge, that will return. I know that that's, especially for how you understand and view the world and view reality. It's difficult to not see this as a problem. But just know that my brother would not let his charge go unattended. You understand me?
I think we both appreciate the power of words. They can be used to obfuscate.
Indeed. Let me ask you something simple then. I get the sense that you are rather familiar with the plains.
Likely more than most.
If I were to describe to you a place that was a sea of unbroken silver stars, reflections upon reflections upon reflections of those stars, would that ring any bells as to where that might be?
A collection of stars? What
A
makes
realm.
these?
I'm trying to describe the image that I saw when I touched the 7-section staff last.
Got you. Cool. As you start describing this, you're gonna go into a little bit of a conversation as like you're describing and he's trying to pull information out to understand what you're looking for. I'm gonna bounce a little bit. So Harold, you back channel wanted to do an action.
This can be off screen if you want, but Harold's, since we haven't been able to figure out where the star field is, Harold figured that he would enlist the assistance professional. He's going to take the staff to Wyhan and ask her what she makes of the vision.
Amazing. Cool. So what I'm going to say is, just to calibrate where we are, is as you're describing and explaining this vision of this sea of stars, basically, Lothander.
No, he's going to...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lothander. As that's happening, Wyhan walks into the workspace with Harold nearby. She's holding the piece. Actually, at this point, Harold would have taken it back. She's coming in. Harold's holding the piece. She looks to Mordenkainen, arriving in that perfect cinematic moment of like, you've kind of finished. He takes sits back, looks to her walking in. She locks eyes with him. The two of them eye each other and are like kind of nod in agreement. And I just want to make sure because all this stuff is insane. There's too much of everything in here. They both nod in agreement. I say, the Astral Sea. That's what I was thinking. Yes. Well, the question then is where? And the two of them immediately just like go hard into like shop talk, where like Lathander's like, well, like the constant of this is like, yes, but that's only, before this god died, at which point the constant changed. Yes, but over millennia, this is effectively constant. And like you get it heavy, like detailed, like talking about, orbital physics and stuff.
What does the 29 get me on knowledge of the astral sea?
Of the Astral Sea. With a 29, Jesus.
Can I walk into the room eating what's left of it like as the other badump dump? I haven't touched it yet. Can I just touch it and answer the question with a 29?
Yeah, if you touch the rod,
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
want to walk in.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to walk in and I want to dump with their bickering shop talk by just sort of silently
Touch
eating
it.
my last little chicken wing, touching it, and then just being like, "Oh,
Vision.
well, based off of
Shoom.
the star alignment that I saw, I'm pretty sure that in Professor
I love this. I love this.
class, probably around."
So we
there.
have so just to set the scene of what just happened timeline wise, we have Lathander enter, Mordecai turn, they have a discussion. Lathander's like expressing the visions that he's heard the other party members have. While this is happening, Harold's gone, given Wyhan the piece. She holds it, gives it back to Harold, walks down the stairs, followed by Harold, walks into the workspace. She comes in as Mordenkainen is like sucking on a pipe that isn't lit, just kind of thinking. The two of them lock eyes, go, Astral Sea, nod, start pulling out star charts. Just like, yeah, but where would it be? I mean, they described it. No, but what I saw was, okay. And then as they're doing this, Thaddeus comes in with a big, like, chicken leg, takes a huge bite, sees Harold holding the piece, is like, oh, that's the piece? Boom. We get, like, eyes dilate. In the dilated pupils, pinpricks of light. We zoom into the eyeballs. Those pinpricks turn into constellations. We're now like flying through time and space in this realm of the Astral Sea. And that brings us through this visual montage back to Arlie flipping the page on a constellation as she's doing some research. We're going to get back to you guys. Arlie, what are the topics you're looking to learn about in the library?
Anything related to the books and whatever their names are.
Cool. So I'm going to ask for 1d4 for each topic that you are searching for an answer on. Let me give you the wording specifically so that we can be on the same page here. You can research any topic, and you roll for a specific topic.
Okay, so the books all have, I can read the books, the names of the books, and they're all places that that Arlie has never heard of before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she'll deduce that they're not part of
Mornland,
this
we
plane.
have
So
Barovia, we have Orth, and we have Avernus.
okay, so since she doesn't know what any of those are, she'll go and research interplanar, extraplanar places. Books on.
So the way the
planar
mechanics work here
views.
for this room, I'm just reading out of the page or the book. It says on a roll of 1 or 2, you find information about the topic. So it's just like roll a d4 with a question on with a topic you're looking to find information on, and a 1 or 2 you find that information. 3 or 4 you don't.
Okay, I rolled a 1.
Cool. What are you searching for with this roll?
A
Interplanar.
book about planes. I can't remember. I'm going to try to Google what it is called in Dragon. What it would be called in. I know what it's called in Forgotten Realms. But what is it called in Dragonlance?
When there are no words in the books.
Outer planes and inner planes. So Kryn cosmology. The cosmology is known as the Great Bubble. So we'll say that she's looking for information on the Great Bubble.
On the Great Bubble, yeah, I think, like, so with a 1 or 2, you find information. So the question would be, like, what sort of thing are you searching for, or are you just trying to kind of like remove the psychic dissonance between what Claire knows and what Arlie knows?
Well, I think if Arlie has like I mean, I'm trying to picture what it would be like to get a book that, to see a book labeled Switzerland and have no idea that Europe exists. Like, you just don't even know what Europe is. Like, maybe it's a food, it's a dish. Like, maybe it's edible. Like, you just maybe, but she knows that there are places you can go. So she does know that. But like, is it a singular mountain? Is it a country? Like, she doesn't. I'm just trying to imagine that she has.
So it's like how
no
like
realm of.
so okay. If I can put words in your mouth, tell me if I'm right or wrong here. But what I'm hearing is that like Arlie has at this point consciously traveled to at least 2 different realms, right? She's been to the Feywild, she's been to the Sigil Sanctum, she's been to the library, she's been to Kryn. And she's also been to this like other Cthulhu world that she was unconscious for, but kind of has quasi memories of. So it's like she's been to 5 different planes of existence, roughly. But she's unclear as to like how they're related in space. Because like these are worlds, but like what connects them? Or how are they related in hierarchy? Or like, is that the kind of thing you're looking for?
I'm mostly playing off the information that I got from you, which is that she doesn't know what these places are.
Cool.
Like she doesn't know what
So-
they're. So like,
So with
she
a
might not even
1
know that they're not in Kryn.
So with a 1 at this stage, what I'll say is like, let's remove the barriers between like the metagaming firewalls that Claire has to be like, I know about different realms of existence, but Arlie doesn't. I think with this research you're doing in this Sigil Sanctum library, which is like a curated library for the best wizards in Kryn, you're able to find enough information so that Arlie has an understanding of like, oh, different realms of existence that exist within kind of like, you know, in relation to each other from like chaos to order. And there's like elemental realms and there's celestial realms, and like they kind of all exist there are different versions of maps of them. Different realms will draw different maps where they think they exist in relation to other realms. But the type of general realm interplanar knowledge that like you have as a D&D player, I think Arlie is able to access through this research. If you're looking for more information about the specifics of what is like the Mournland, Barovia, these 4 realms, that would be a secondary role. But you can clearly be like, oh, these are locations in other realms and you also like, you already know that these are places that'll bring you close to the rods of, you know, the rod pieces, rod fragments.
Okay, this is neat. The internet is telling me that the cosmology of Dragonlance changed after the 4th edition, but the pre-4th edition terminology is like kind of pretty cool.
Oh,
Like the hidden veil and the gray, a unique transitive plane of Dragonlance. Right? It doesn't matter. We'll roll.
yeah.
The thing.
I think
we can get
like
information relevant to this game.
Yeah.
All right, so she did not succeed on that, so she just won't be able to go further in her studies.
Well, that's just a different. So what topic was this one?
Well, I think
That
we're just going
second
to get
one.
specific. So maybe she'll go through them alphabetically.
Okay. So Barovia, you failed to succeed.
Wouldn't Avernus be first?
My bad. Avernus is before B.
Okay. All right.
So
she fails.
Avernus, you failed. The next roll would be Barovia then.
Okay. All right. So that's
a
a
1. Cool. With a 1, chapter 5. Let me see. I want to pull up what I pull up that you're able to find about Barovia. Barovia is a small village. It's actually a weird, like, at first you're like, why is this so hard to find? It's like, oh, because I'm looking for not Sweden. I'm looking for a small town that like the last person moved away from in 1876 in Sweden that has been overgrown. Barovia is a small village in a western province in a place known as the Domain of Dread, which itself is within a demi-plane hidden in the plane of shadow. And it is
Okay, great.
separated from the rest of the multiverse by mysterious mist that are unfathomable and unpredictable. You can get lost in these mists, and they act as some sort of like moat or something that separates this land, Domain of Dread, from other multiversal planes. And
Cool.
they're
Well, she will write all that down.
Yeah,
Or
and-
rip the page out of the book, depending on how. Depending on her mood.
I leave that choice to you, Arlie. But with this one in this research, you are able to identify that there is a Dark Lord vampire who seems to hold immense power and sway over this land.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll write all that down.
Cool.
And is that going to be it, or should we keep going?
That's Barovia. If you want to keep going, type in the next topic.
For the other.
Yeah. So the next ones would be in order. It would be A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Mornland, and then Earth, I believe, would be 3 and 4. Our third and fourth rolls.
So Earth, spelled with a U or an E?
O-E-R. Earth.
Oh, okay. So M. All right, let's.
Okay, so Mornland.
Right,
nothing on Mornland.
Okay, we'll go again. Ugh. Unlucky. Nothing
Okay.
on Orth.
And nothing on Orth. Cool. So you're able to get a lot of context on how the multiverse is laid out and how these different interplanar realms exist on top and in between each other. So saying that like your player knowledge of realms, you can now pull into Arlie's knowledge. And you were able to find information on Barovia, which is a small town in the domain of Dread. Be it the other locations you aren't able to find information about. Awesome. Cool. As you're continuing to do that, as you're finishing up that research, as you finish up that research, I'm going to go back to Arlie. You can also, at this point, you can walk into any other scene and just say you've finished your research and you're coming to see someone if you want to join the next scene.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you where to go, but you're welcome to do that. You're not stuck in your pages. We come back to big, wide-pupiled Thaddeus, who is holding the Rod of Seven. Harold, seeing Thaddeus touch this rod and react like he's on ecstasy, or like a cat with a treat, do you let him hold the rod or do you take it from him?
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Amazing. Thaddeus. My bad, Thaddeus. Thaddeus, you are on board a ship. This is a place you feel very comfortable. You can feel the wooden boards. This is a solid ship. This is like a solid single-mast kind of galleon in a style that you don't fully recognize, but like at a certain point, ships of a certain level of displacement with a certain type of sail all look kind of the same because of how things work. There's actually, no, this is a 2-masted square rigger. So there's a front foresail and an aft sail. A full crew. You don't recognize the race of this crew. They are of a people who have like slits for noses, no actual like appendages on their face, just openings like the reptilian almost. And this ship is sailing through the sky, or it's on like a crystal clear water, or it's the sky. But if it's the sky, it's so much sky that there isn't a ground visible below you. You look out and it's like sailing on a night where there's no moon and no clouds and it's only stars. And then when you look down below the horizon, the stars just continue and they go all the way under the ship. You go from port to starboard and you see them continue. You're in the center of a sphere of stars, somehow suspended in this space. This is like a dream-like reality that you are in. You are both in a real space, but you are also only touching it through some sort of arcane dreamlike capacity. So you are not visible to anyone here. You can't really interact, but you have this like corporeal capacity to like change your perspective.
Can I see the shard? Can I see the bit of staff anywhere in this environment?
You don't see a staff. You see crew like working the rigging, and there is an urgency to their actions, and like a dream, you can't make out what people are saying. It's like they'll say something and it's like hearing someone shout from across a long field. There's like a delay and there's like a weird distortion effect, like it's through water. But someone, like a captain or someone, calls for something that sounds, the tone of it feels like brace. But it doesn't have the same connotations of brace for impact, like you're getting hit by a cannon or something. But there's a certain like brace for something. And then you feel the pit of your stomach drop and you're pulled, the drop pulls you back into the Sigil Sanctum. And we have a raid. Welcome raiders. We're in the middle of some D&D. Please enjoy.
Well then, it's on a ship. The ship is being attacked, and I think I can get us there.
Yeah, you're able to go over to the maps. You like just flip a few pages in the star charts that Mordenkainen and Wyhan are looking at, and you just boom. And it's like you're able to just point to a spot.
We should probably hurry though, because I think it's aboard a ship, and I think that ship is being boarded.
Okay. Lothander, you're here. You're right there. Aelric, you're wherever you want to be. Michael doing some non-metallic painting on his Warhammer guns. Just keeping everyone abreast of what's going on.
All right, then. Mordenkainen, Wyham, would you mind?
Would you like to go now?
I think so.
Whoever would like can give me a perception check. This will be a DC 12.
Nope.
Hell, Thaddeus, you're satisfied on getting that right. That's just it's too good, too right. Harold, Harold, you see, Lothander's like, so are you guys good? And Mordenkainen's like, so you want to leave now? Lothander's like, yeah. Harold, you see Wyhan under her breath just go like, oh, thank God. Fuck, these guys are gonna leave finally. Incredible. Mordenkainen gives a look to Wyhan, doesn't need more than a second. Looks back to you and says, Lothander, you catch Wyhan's like gratefulness as well with your 23. Says, happy to. We have a location. Happy to send you there.
Excellent. I will need you to send me somewhere else, though.
Ah. Of course.
Yeah,
Where would that be?
Where Helen would.
Where Helen would. Let me roll. With a 24, I think Mordenkainen recognizes the name.
Okay.
Is it something you're trying to keep secret from the party?
No.
Okay. Mordenkainen acknowledges the space, looks to the party, says, I see. Is there a reason? You know what? I shouldn't ask. I shouldn't even ask, because I don't know if I would understand if you told me.
No, it's fair. Thank you. If I may, y'all, our paths are going to diverge for now. But if you need me in the future, know that I will be available to you. There's some things that I got to take care of right now, though. But like I promised when I first met you, I do have something for each one of you. So, Arlie, he unclips his medallion from around his neck, the one that has a rising, flaming sun on it, and gives it to Arlie.
Oh my gosh.
I try to clock eyes with Ehrlich to give him like a see. I told you he has a huge see. He has a huge crush on her.
I don't think Elric's in the room. I think Elric
Elric's
can't
not in the
canonically
room.
not in the room right now.
Then I look for Harold, and I'm like,
I absolutely love that, like, a year of Elric and Arlie like having this like burgeoning relationship, and Thad's like, that
Harold,
guy's
I'll
fucking
give
into
you-
Arlie.
I'll give you the halfling. I'll give you the halfling cam of Harold being like, "Hey, yeah, come here, come here." And it's flat.
I love we need to get the patented halfling cam. Like I need to get that flashing on screen when you do it. It's great. Awesome. Sorry, Lothander, you're bequeathing a gift from the gods onto Arlie, and we're just having playtime at the table. So please continue with this moment.
Please.
Thank you so much. Literally, Thad made me destroy all my holy symbols. I literally have nothing. So
Well, I mean, this is going to be yours now. And again, if you need me, I know you know how to reach out to anybody on any plane. Just send that to me, and as long as you have that, I will be there.
I am so grateful. And then she just like she wears it, and it like she's turning into a multi-hyphenate cleric with
Well, actually,
like-
if you were to take a look at the symbol now, there is still a rising sun. However, sitting in the center of the sun is an open book with a sprouting acorn in the middle of the binding of the book.
Cute.
cool.
Very cool.
She's like grateful, but because she's Arlie, she's just gonna be like, there were so many spells that I couldn't properly cast because holding the holy symbol is actually a very important material component, and I didn't have it, and I was just picking up like random, like I'd use a coaster one time and another time. So
I'm sure that you're going to find this very useful.
absolutely, I love useful gifts. They don't get regifted. I would never regift this. No, I just stop talking.
Please don't. That again,
No,
like
I literally never would.
Don't even bring it up.
I don't know why I said that. Stop. I'm just very excited.
I'm going to turn to Thad, and I'm just going to say, I don't actually need this anymore. And I just hand him my cloak, which you can take, and it's a magical item. It's a cloak of protection.
+1 AC.
I will add it to my sheet, but as I take it from you, I say, it was a pleasure fighting by your side, and I accept this payment for freeing you from the punch. And then I consider your debt to me paid.
Somewhere, Dr. Merlin Brown is going, that's my boy, Thaddeus, that's my boy.
Lathander thinks, don't break his arm, and turns to Harold. I think you know what you're going to do with this. And I'm going to hand him a case of scrolls. And inside are 5 scrolls of Speak with the Dead.
Cool.
Harold accepts with both hands. Nods deeply. Thank you, Lathander.
And thank you. I appreciate what you did. Now I need to find Elric. Excuse me. And I'm
Smash
gonna,
cut to Elric's hat. Where do we find Elric?
Elric.
Where does Lothander find you?
I mean, I'm still in S4. I'm over in that corner by the fireplace in that chair.
Cool. You find him upstairs, sitting by the fire. I'm gonna do a cat roll here. This is a cat roll. The cat is sitting on your lap, Elric.
Great.
Library cat.
Great. Wonderful. Is the cat doing anything other than sitting on my lap?
Sitting on your lap, and for some reason, the idea of getting up has gotten much more complicated.
Fair. I guess he tries to pet the cat.
animal handling. No, you pet the cat. No, amazing. I think Aelric is living through a fantasy version of the parable of the emperor and the kitten. The story is that like an emperor had a little kitten that fell asleep on his sleeve, and he ordered the sleeve cut off so that the cat would
Yeah.
not be disturbed. And this is like, silk and embedded with all these fancy stuff of priceless artifact. I think Aelric sitting next to the fire, like still amped up after everything that's been going on, and cats have this preternatural capacity to be like, oh, you're feeling things. Plop. I'm going to be a fur pillow on you, and just somehow it's like, oh, I feel a lot more stable. Like the restlessness is purred out, and all of a sudden the flames are calming, and the cat warms your lap, and before you know it, you've found some calm that had been eluding you for the last handful of hours or
Great.
more.
Fantastic.
I'm just gonna walk on up. There was a time when I spent several 100,000 years as a ball.
I must warn you, Lothander. Poetry, language, metaphors, these are not my skills.
It's not a metaphor, my friend.
Ah,
I was literally a ball. Because
okay.
that's what people envisioned me as.
Okay.
Existence is a very weird thing. And I kind of feel like you're encountering some of that.
That would be fair to say.
You know what the one constant was the entire time? Every single iteration of me there's ever been?
No.
Hope. I unbuckle my sword and hand it to Aelric.
Oh shit! What's the sword look like?
So if Aelric takes it, it's a scabbard that the blade is made for maybe a foot of blade within it, but the handle itself is sized for a usual longsword or hand and a half sword.
Mm-hmm.
It is gold hilt, and it is flared out to the sides almost like angel wings. And I motion for Aelric to draw it.
I'm hesitant to take this from you. Every single time one of these enchanted items come into our party, we end up in a place like this, dealing with situations like this, and I feel even more behind in what I'm supposed to understand or what to do about it.
From what I've seen, your instincts are correct. Just keep following what you know to be true, what you believe to be true. Always act with hope. Protect them. They're going to need you. And I hope that helps. By the way, if you think of the word cut, something fun will happen.
One more very deep scrutiny on that sword, and he moves with not hope, faith, and takes the sword. And that's what he says. I take this not out of hope, out of faith. And then he draws it like you asked. What happens?
It lights up like a lightsaber because
Oh,
this is
shit.
a sun blade. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll see you down the road.
I'll hand it back to you on that day. And he sheathes it.
Hell yeah. At the top of the stairs, you hear a little polite. Mordenkainen is standing just 2 steps from the top, officially not in the room. Says, "Sorry to interrupt, but I believe, timing-wise, it would be best if we were to get you traveling first, Lothander."
Yeah. I'm finished here. Thank you.
Right. Well, if you would, then this way. He leads you down the stairs towards the raised dais on the very south of the central room. To coming up, he walks up one side, pulls a thin wand out of his robes, draws it at the circle that's already there. This is like a permanent teleportation circle. Casts a spell. There's like an opening. Iris in the floor almost opens. Looking at it, that this is one that you can hop through, and you will be, while this portal is in the floor for you, it will be in whatever ceiling you are arriving in.
All right. Crack my neck for a second, stretch my shoulders, bust out my angel wings, and
Hell yeah.
time to go talk to my ex-wife. And I hop through the portal.
And with that, I'm going to say I can't top that. That was an epic, fucking great last line. That's going to end our story tonight. Thank you so much for everyone who came out. Thanks for our raiders and the few stuck around. And I heard a couple of follows. I'm with you guys. I'm just busy. But thank you, Michael Keane, Sean Boyd, Sam Gilroy, Claire Hogan, and so much to Neil Babcock. Thank you for ending out a wonderful stint as a guest, and we hope to have you back soon. Everyone who watched, thanks so much for joining us. And remember to tell your friends, follow us, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Spread the word. And until next time, my name has been Coy. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be your storyteller. I'm going to work on the copy so that we shorten it up a little bit. And until next week, keep rolling those dice.
Manner born to nobility, Ollie dance through life with frivolity. Parties and balls, a life so grand. Little did you know what fate had planned. Ollie, the wandering candlewick, chosen by Sybil in her destiny's down. Escape from towers of pain, but to the open road, a reluctant cleric with powers bestowed. From luxury, thrust into robes, surrounded by tomes and dusty old globes. But Ollie's mind, sharp as a tack, mastered the legalese others did lack. Contracts and bylaws, she knew them all. Her litigious prowess made bureaucrats fall. In mazes of paperwork, she'd find a way to bend the rules and save the day. A holy symbol in a divine dream. Not all in the tower is as it may seem. A true the tower across the land. But Ollie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined. Sometimes leaving the present behind. But Ollie sees more than meets the eye. All timelines at once, futures that fly. Past, present, future, all intertwined. Sometimes leaving the present behind. Library cat, shrouded shrouded in mystery, follows Audie through every